Oh, we've hit another scoop here because out of the blue and from the prisoner colony, Callan Murray's back in the game. How you, Cal?
Yeah, very good. A bit tired, a bit jet lagged, but good to be on South African soil.
Yeah, it's so good to have you back. And obviously, I saw the press release, but I knew I had to get hold of you because so many people are like delighted that you're back at least to ride for a certain period. We don't know yet, but
Yeah,
so much positivity about all of this. And you've grown up, hey boy.
yeah. No, I haven't. Touching on how positive people's reactions have been. It's been fantastic and certainly really nice for me to know that I'm coming back to a place that's certainly welcoming me with open arms.
Yeah.
That's not only here at home with my mom, but from the racing industry.
Yeah, I was reading the comments and I said to my team, I got to get hold of him today because
No, thank you.
it's good to see, it's good to see. And you come back bringing carrots on your fiance's ring.
Yes, yes.
We're
Well,
not
they
going to
must
discuss
have.
how many carrots because we don't want you to, we don't, but
Oh, yeah.
congratulations. So
Thank
you
you.
left a young, impressionable young man and you've come back engaged.
Yeah, the past 3.5 years have been a massive learning curve for me. I think personally, apart from racing, I've grown up a lot, learned a lot, and met my other half for the rest of my life, and
Wow.
it's been fantastic.
Oh, so good. It's so good to hear, right? And
Yeah.
I'm genuinely excited, I liked it when Andrew Fortune came back and, I just, yeah. Tell me, we're going to talk a little bit about shop now. The racing is very different out there. Are you going to be able to, you've obviously learned, but are you going to be able to readjust?
Yeah, look, I think as a jockey, that's a skill you need to have. And I've been fortunate that I've traveled in the past and readjusted well in those scenarios. I think I've learned a lot as a rider in Australia. And, hopefully I can bring some of those technical aspects into my riding here.
Yeah, good. How's your counting?
It's pretty spot on. Yeah, you have to do a lot of work with the beeper on, and yeah, it's good to get a good gauge and
Yeah.
really understand your paces specifically.
Do you feel that that was something that you really improved on?
Yes, absolutely. I do think naturally, uh, being a judge of pace has come quite naturally to me. And to be honest, when working horses, I prefer not working to times and working to feel.
Okay.
Um, but by working with times, you sort of understand, like you know for certain what is fast, what is slow.
Mm,
And
yeah,
at the end of the day, you still need to make a judgment based on a horse because every horse's cruising speed is different.
correct. And what about the shillelagh? What is the limit over there?
So in Australia, there's also some pretty strict rules. So I think it's five before the 100, and then you're pretty well allowed to go, like 10 after the 100. I'm not really a consecutive whip user like some of the guys there could.
The
So
windmill.
yes, a windmill, which isn't a style that I could adapt to. But
Okay.
yeah, they are pretty strict with it there as well, just like here.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's good to know. So you hopefully you don't want to be paying too many fines and
Yeah, I'll try and avoid the
I'd
fines
avoid
and
them, yeah.
suspensions that
And I
come
mean,
along.
you are a big race rider, so they get a bit steeper. When the
Yeah,
little G, comes in front of the race, and
well, I think we pay enough in tax and to our managers.
100%,
I'd rather keep the
yeah.
rest of the percentage to
You don't
myself.
want to. Hey, listen, you got two mouths to feed now, so
Exactly right. The pressure's on.
the pressure's on. Tell me, Kellen, why you rode a lot with Matthew, a friend of yours, right?
Yes. Well, fortunately, when Matthew and I'd always been good friends. Matt's been a huge supporter in my career. He's given me a huge crack. And when I moved to Australia, obviously we were in different states. Both, Matt was based in Melbourne with Robbie, and I was based in Adelaide due to my visa, but obviously made a few trips over there to ride for him. He still was a really good support to me in Australia, but definitely on a personal level, our friendship grew. I really felt like it was a piece of home away from home for me.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of Christmases and stuff, and between Monique and himself, we really our friendship grew, and it's been fantastic. And now they've got their little boy Liam, and he screams for Uncle Cole riding the horses. So
Oh,
yeah, it's definitely
that's so good.
heartwarming stuff.
Yeah, and it's, you know what, as an old man, well, I think I'm youngish, but as an old man, it's good to see you youngsters coming back and getting this game going for us, right? Because we need that, right? So how did this whole thing happen? Did Matt say, hey, or just, I mean, I know it's nothing really official, but
Yeah,
it's more of a like a working holiday at the moment. But I mean, we're excited, right? So we can't
yeah.
help it.
No, absolutely. And I think Matt's move certainly opened my eyes to it a bit and opened my interest to South Africa. And when I look back, obviously there's some negativity in the press, but I think from what I left South African racing to where it is today, there's been significant improvement, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the powers that be in all the different provinces have done a fantastic job, and I think I'm coming back to a really good racing industry. So Matt's move certainly prompted me looking into that. And through a few chats with him, I thought, you know what, why not have a crack at it? Obviously, my visa situation changed and my residency came through. So the opportunity to come back was
Oh, okay.
available. Obviously, prior to that, I was sort of bound to staying there for my visa to,
Right.
I had to ride that out in order to give me the residency rights.
Okay.
Yeah, when the opportunity came up, I thought, you know what, why not?
Yeah, listen,
Let's,
it makes total sense. At your age, um, your visa's sorted, you can always go back.
yeah,
You can float between countries. It's really awesome. It really is.
yeah. And as much as it was a painful 14 and a half hour flight, that's really all it is. I was there on Tuesday and I was here on Wednesday.
Yeah. Do you turn left or right when you get on the plane?
Depends. This time I turned right and I had a long walk to the back.
And your missus, what does she do? She's racing as
Um,
well?
so, well, actually, Matthew, being such the good friend he was, introduced me to Danny because she used to work for Matt in Melbourne. So it was on one
Okay.
of my trips to visit him.
Wow.
Danny and I met, and yeah, Danny moved to Adelaide not long after, and she rides a bit of track work. She's a avid equestrian. She loves it. So
Good.
yeah, she
Because
keeps my
Monique's also
hands
into
full.
horses. So,
Yes, of course.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And I'm impressed with your social media following. It's quite good, by the way. Well done.
yeah, no, it's good.
You're outshining a lot of the local boys. They need a bit of help. Christian, definitely, we try our hardest to help as many as we can. Right. Tell me something,
yeah.
Mr. Murray. Why is April Fool's such an important day for you?
Well, it's something that I didn't quite realize. It was my first Group One, and on a very special horse by the name of Heavenly Blue, who's obviously now standing as a stallion in South Africa.
At standing at Ascot Stud and
Yes,
the Cock. Yeah.
and it's going to be awesome riding some of the progeny of horses that I've ridden, and as you said,
Yeah.
that makes me feel a bit old now, to be honest.
Listen, you rode quite a lot of big horses, to be fair. And I
Oh,
just want to reminisce on some of them because, you sort of left our shores and we out of sight, out of mind, right?
of
But
course, of
actually,
course.
it prompted me. I remember you rode Hawam, you rode uh,
Queen
Dio
Supreme,
Venti, you rode
Rafif.
Warrior's Rest, Mustaqim. Do you remember Mustaqim?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
rode him
he
on debut, didn't you?
to this day, I think he's one of the best horses I've ever ridden. It's a
Yeah,
shame that he had some of the issues he did,
yeah,
and obviously his full brother, who's a jet of a stallion now, Rafif.
yeah. Did you rode him on debut, didn't you?
Rafif.
Mustaqim.
Yes, Mustaqim I rode on debut. I
Did he
rode
lose a
him in all
muscle?
of his. Yes, he won very well.
Because I remember that day. I remember
Yeah, he's a proper horse.
fondly. Yeah, he was a really nice horse. So,
Yeah.
um, tell me, Murray Bridge was your last winner in Australia.
Yes.
You had a double on the day.
Yep.
Um, Completely different tracks, right?
Completely different track. Murray Bridge, probably one of the closest to South African tracks. It's got a very big straight and it's a nice open track, but there's tracks everywhere in Australia, and I've driven far and wide and ridden
Uh,
some tracks that are eye-opening, and some fantastic tracks like Flemington and Moonee Valley.
yeah. Okay, so we're in the home stretch now because we don't really want to do a 2 hour podcast.
That's all right.
We're going to talk to you plenty. Based in Joburg?
Yeah, based in Joburg currently, but I'll be bouncing a fair bit between Joburg and Durban.
So primarily there's an informal or formal link with Mike and them.
Yeah, of course. I'm, extremely grateful for the support they're giving me, and obviously being the power stable are. Those are rides you want to be on. But I'm certainly coming over here trying to get on the best horses I can. So I'll be working hard everywhere trying to secure the right rides.
Okay, cool. Did you take up surfing while you were there?
I actually did do a fair bit of surfing. I'm a
You're
bit
looking
scared
like
of
a surfer
sharks.
more than a jockey, I have to say.
Yeah, no, well, at least I haven't come back with a mullet.
Okay, what else can you tell me? Um,
Oh, yeah, Jesus. What do you want to know?
have you got a ride for the July?
Nothing locked in yet. Obviously, weight's something we got to consider, but
What are you
um,
doing
you
at the
know,
moment?
pardon me,
What are you doing at the moment?
with weight. At the moment, I've just accepted some 56s, but 53 for the right ride isn't without reach with some good notice. So,
Well, that's
um,
going to open up a lot of doors for you, eh?
and I think so in a race like the July, if you look at it historically, you want to be on those lightweight young horses coming through. So it's just about picking the right one.
Yeah, well, you've done that plenty in your very, very, very short but impressive career.
Yeah, well, it's been fantastic, and I'm
No,
hoping to.
listen,
Those Group One memories are some of my favorites, and I'm hoping to reignite some of them.
cool. So let's just try and keep you in sync here now.
Yep.
If we play Australia, who are you shouting for?
Pardon me. In the
Rugby.
Springboks.
And your missus, she's going to have to adapt because we are
Yeah.
ruthless, eh? We don't take shit.
Look, I must be honest. She's not a very big sports
Uh,
supporter,
okay,
so
well,
I think she'll be quite happy to wear a Springbok jersey.
brilliant, brilliant. Okay, Cal, listen, it's so, so good to have you back. Looking forward. I'm telling you, this podcast is going to pump. You've got a big legion of fans. We want to see you riding the winners again. That smile of yours is infectious. Um, I'm genuinely delighted to see you back in South Africa. I think, as I was for Andrew, um, I'm probably like a tinge more excited that you back. A little bit more, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm serious. Like, I really think we needed to get one of the youngsters back, you know. Like, Ryan Munger, as you know, he's been flying in over December,
in,
and
yeah.
I mean, his riding is, I mean, he was always a really good jock, but his riding's improved so much, you know.
Oh, I couldn't agree more watching some of the replays of his rides here,
Oh,
trying to do some form. He's ridden them excellently, and hopefully I can follow suit by
no,
bringing some of
I'm sure you will. All right, look, we look forward to seeing you in the
my
number box
my
sooner
skills.
rather than later. Thanks for doing this, and
No,
stay safe.